What's up, guys? It's Brian from Hash4Hub. It's about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, January 19th, 2018. We're coming to you with a brand new trading video. This is on Ripple and Tron. So, yeah, we're gonna go over Ripple and Tron and see what's happening there. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, resteam, and upvote. All will be greatly appreciated. So let's get right into it here. Right now we're looking at Ripple. This is a 1-hour basis. Normally we look at things on a 4-hour basis. I can just pull it up really quick here. And this is what it looks like on a 4-hour basis. And, when in doubt, I said that the other day, this little stupid saying, this saying that rhymes, when in doubt, zoom out, means a lot. I mean, you need to look at the market from not only a bigger perspective, right, like a 4-hour or a daily, for example, or a daily type of chart, but you also need to look at it in a much closer time frame. So I find myself, and for those who are kind of newish to trading or newer to reading charts, don't get stuck in one particular chart time frame. You really need to swing from, even down. I mean, sometimes I go down to even 15 minutes, but here in particular, I went down to about 30 minutes because I wanted to take a look at what was going on here with this sideways correction. Okay. Even though if you're trading on more of a daily basis, I mean, you can have the need to go down to 30 minutes. So you should find yourself swinging between 30 minutes and like a day. Sometimes you can even pull up weekly charts if that's needed at that time. But don't feel like you need to be stuck with one particular time frame because you're only trading that time frame. You need to look bigger and smaller as far as time frame is concerned, outside of the bounds of, where you're currently trading as far as the time frame you're currently trading. So I find myself all the time swinging back and forth, and you should too. In the beginning, it may be a little overwhelming, but eventually it'll just be second nature. So definitely try to get used to doing that. So what are we looking at here? So Ripple had this correction, this ABCDE correction that we've made all sorts of videos on, and then the market kind of shot through pretty significantly, and pretty much made a vertical line straight out of this bullish this large bullish flag. And I feel like Ripple, and the same thing with Tron too, that it wants to run. In other words, it wants to fly to the moon. And I'm not saying that for the sense of hype. I'm saying that for the sense of the way in which I see the chart. I mean, Ripple and Tron in particular, and there are a bunch of other coins as well, but Ripple and Tron in particular seem like they're, like sprinters waiting for the gun to go off. And that gun going off is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to move higher. Otherwise these will just kind of, languish. I've been saying it for quite some time. Bitcoin is a big behemoth. It's an obvious statement, but I keep saying it over and over again because a lot of times I'll look at a chart and then I'll be like, oh, what is Bitcoin doing? Let me go see what Bitcoin's doing. Oh, okay, let me go back. So back and forth. And it's another thing I should mention as well, that you should find yourself comfortable doing as well. Again, it may be a little overwhelming in the beginning, but over time, you're going to be much more comfortable with it. So what is, according to Elliot wave theory, it says that the first leg out of a correction, in other words, the first motive wave is going to have 5 waves to it. So we need to see if we can count 5 waves to see if this correction is over. And we can. I mean, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can. Now, it doesn't mean that 100% the correction's over, but the probability of the correction continuing becomes less when we see things like this happening. So another thing I want to just point out is this sideways correction that we see here. It's this consolidation. It's a typical consolidation formation, chart pattern formation. And, you know, right now we're looking at this small little, you know, down candle right here that everything seems to basically be adhering to this bottom support line. So, you know, you need to pay attention to that. I mean, we pay attention to it, and we think it makes sense. It's kind of like drawing at the very least, it's like drawing a line in the sand and saying, okay, market, let's see what you're going to do from here. So, you know, looking at Bitcoin really quickly, I mean, we can see, I'm sorry, this is like a whole hornet's nest of stuff, but go to our Bitcoin video that we made earlier today, and a lot more of this will make sense. But, you know, you can see that it's kind of, you know, a mixed bag of things right now. I mean, you could maybe say that this is kind of more of the support line right here. Possibly could be, you could say it's a little bit higher. But even still, you know, you need to go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. So here you see that this is more of like a bearish flag. It's pointing up, but at the same time on Ripple, there we go, it's going completely sideways. And on some other coins, it's pointing down, like it's a bullish flag. So, you know, a lot of the same type of chart patterns, but different, you know, they're all playing a different tune. They're all playing the same song, but in a different key. Some of them are even a little bit offbeat. And, you know, that's what we're seeing right now. So, you know, I'm not going to go into the whole big price projections and stuff like that, but basically this is what we're seeing on Ripple right now. So what we would like to see is that it would then go ahead, bounce off here, and then, you know, make a higher high. And if this truly is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then there has to be some sort of correction. Okay, there has to be some sort of correction. So one of the things I will mention, and I'll try to make this pretty simple. But so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is of this small wave right here, but this one wave is made up of 5 components. So this, let's say this would be 1, 2, you know, 3, 4, and then 5. Now, what does that say? It says that Elliot wave theory says that the 2 wave and the 4 wave, if the 2 wave happens to have a very sharp correction, then the 4 wave will have like a sideways correction or like a triangle correction. Okay, it doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it happens more times than not. So one or two things can happen here. You know, if truly the market is going to go up, one or two things can happen here. This could be all the correction that Ripple needs, and then it's going to run up, and then later on, when we're, you know, looking at our 4 wave, the 4 correction wave, we would be looking for a sharp correction. And that's another way to go ahead and get into lower risk trades, because you know based on your count that this was a sideways correction, and that over here, more times than not, it's going to be a sharp downward correction, and then the market's going to run up again. So it's just another way of skewing the probabilities in your direction. So that's not to say that this still couldn't correct off harder, and then we can run up from there, but it's just something I thought was worthwhile mentioning. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tron. Okay, let's look at Tron. Tron's a little less interesting, to say the least. But, you know, in a similar fashion where we would say, okay, fine, this is the wave formation. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, this is a sharp correction that we had here. So what we would think is that when we move up to 3, and then the 4th correction, maybe the 4th correction would be more sideways-like. Okay, that's what I was talking about before. So with Tron, Tron, like I said, is another one of these cryptos that I think is really waiting to reach for the moon. And it's like, again, it's waiting for Bitcoin. And with, like I said before as well, that, all these cryptos are playing the same song, but in a different key. You could see here, this has a triangular formation. So what we would be looking for this thing is to have some sort of termination, and then the market to break higher. Again, the market may break a little bit lower, and then it may run back up again. Or, like I was saying in my video earlier today, that there are some signs, it's an alternate count of ours, but there are some signs that we may go back and retest lows, and on some coins actually make new lows. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's really about it. I mean, that's, with Tron, there's really not much more else to say about it rather than this. We made a video a few days ago about all these chart formations and stuff, and the market ran up, I think, to here, and then from that video, then it ran up to here. And now we have this, like I said, we have this triangular formation, and it's kind of like a hurry up and wait scenario where you identify what the chart pattern is, and then you have to wait for it to play itself out, for it to continue playing its song. So we're gonna leave it right there for now. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Subscribe button, notification bell, greatly appreciated. Same thing with the resteam and the upvote. And we'll be speaking to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we have some resolution to some of these chart patterns, and we can start making some other projections from there. Happy trading, and have a great night.